Okay, so I've started the recording, and one of the things that I wanted to go over with y'all, if you watched or listened to rather the Tara Castaneda call that I posted, you've heard a lot of this information already. It's great info, and some of you who've been with me on this journey for a while are going to be like, "What? We've never done this," and I know. So it's truly new for myself and everybody on our team. So y'all just bear with me as I try to go through some of this, and then we're really going to be making these adjustments as a team. So one of the biggest issues that we all face is retention on our teams and keeping people happy and making sure that we don't see those little things that become white lines in our back office. So I wanted to spend some time dedicated to just that, and review some things that I learned from Tara's call, and through I did a lot of research in the past week on this particular subject to make sure that I had some really good information for y'all. So one of the first things is to ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, am I doing any kind of training with my downline? Are you implementing tools for them? Or are you making it hard for duplication to occur? Number 2, how are you and your downline setting AQs? If you don't know what AQs are, that's auto qualifications, which is also known as backup orders. So if we say the AQ has to be on, that means that the backup order has to be on. Backup order, AQ, those terms are used very interchangeably. Are you doing it when someone signs up? Are you doing it now? Are you doing it later? Are we not doing it at all? And we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in a few minutes. The third thing is, what are you doing when you sign a new person? What is your downline doing? If you're not training, implementing, and duplicating, that's when you'll have attrition. Okay? So let's go back to question number 1. Retention really starts immediately. You have to be training your new ambassador, following up with them regularly, and making sure that you are their best point of contact. We're going to talk a little bit about setting some expectations and things with your new ambassadors in a few minutes. But to go on through to the question number 2 for your AQs, it's really a priority to set up your AQs immediately on the day that they join. It's very important that team members are on the product. Y'all all know we have to be a product of the product. So you want to make sure when someone joins you that they have the right products ordered for themselves. I'm sorry, y'all bear with me with this cough. And that they're going to get their products in a timely fashion always. Okay, so for example, if someone joins you today on May the 3rd, and life happens and people will forget to go in and automatically place their own order sometimes. What's happened when they have joined you on May the 3rd is their backup order is automatically set for June the 26th. Okay, well, we don't want to wait until June 26th for their products to go out to them, because they're going to have not had them for several weeks by the time they get them. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to take your new ambassador, walk them through on the back office how to log in, and to go ahead and set their backup order date. You're gonna show them how to edit that date so that it comes out on the 3rd of the month. Now, if that's something that they are going to go in and manually do, that's fine. If most of us, we want our products every single month, regardless of what kind of PV that we have, and you want that for your people. So in that case, doing an unconditional order would make sense. What it means when you're in back office, you can set a backup order to be unconditional, which means they ship no matter what. It means, and I have like several ambassadors on our team who, you know, that's their product order. They want their orders to come to them no matter how many customers they have. That's unconditional. Conditional means that your backup order is only going to ship if you don't have your 100 PV. So that's the difference between those two. So you want to make sure that you've walked through that with your new ambassador, but we want to change their backup order date to the day that they've joined. If they've joined between the 25th and 31st of the month, you don't need to change their backup order date because it's going to default to the right time anyway for that time of month. But you do want to walk through the backup order with them to make sure that the right products are on for their backup order. And guys, I like this is huge for me because I've never done this, and it actually just happened to me with one of my level ones last month. He thought he had something set for his backup order, and that wasn't what he had set. So the reason why you want to make sure that you do that, those of you who've been around a while, what will end up happening is somebody forgets to order, their backup order ships, they get the wrong product because the right products for them is not what was set up in their backup order to begin with. Then they're going to have to call customer service. Now we're at the end of the month, lines are busy, there's long wait times, they don't want to wait, they got the wrong products, now they want a refund, they just want to quit, cancel their whole ambassadorship, they're done. How many of us have had that happen to us? A lot, right? So this is going to prevent that automatically from the very beginning. So we want to make sure that we're helping them set up their backup order to be their right products and that they're coming out at the right time. Okay. For a welcome to Plexus, there's some documents that Tara went over in her call, and I have requested those documents. I have not gotten them yet, but when I do, and I'm going to say when because I'm going to assume that I'm going to get them. But when we get those documents, I will be sharing this with y'all. But when you have somebody sign up, you know, as they're new to Plexus, we have several things that are on the Pink Freedom page that you can share with them. There's the welcome post that's the pinned post at the top of Pink Freedom. Every new ambassador should see that post because it has very vital information for them in that post. So whether you tell them to go to it, whether you tag them in it, make sure that your new ambassadors get that information. It's going to tell them like to go look at a couple of different things. It's going to have videos in there for them. So that's a real important thing. And you want to be communicating that kind of information with them, whether they're active or wholesale, regardless. You want to add them to your team page, okay? You can also share with your wholesalers, not in a pressuring kind of way, but just to mention to them that, you know, just as a reminder, there is a way that you can earn your products for free. So that you can revisit that with them at a later time. You know, again, like you don't want to pressure somebody that's signing up wholesale with you. But I was one of those wholesale people. Like I told Kelly straight up, I don't have time for this. I will have enough people so that I can get my products for free, and that's it. Don't expect much. Okay, so I'm a very classic case of the person who only wanted to get their products wholesale. So don't ever take that as that person will never work the business. Okay. You want to make sure that they know how to take their products. There's, you know, there's tons of posts and stuff out there that, and we have done graphics and everything else that have been shared on Pink Freedom to show people, like especially for triplex, because that's our most popular combo, to show people how to take the products. And you want to make sure that you set the right expectations around the products. If people think they're going to lose 20 pounds in the first 2 weeks, they will quit. Period. They will quit because it's not going to happen. So you want to make sure that you set the right expectations for them. And a lot of that has to do with how we're posting initially and how you're getting that contact information, with those potentials. Is that how you're presenting the products to begin with, that, oh, hey, look, you can lose all this weight really fast? Or are you presenting it to them as a health system to help them get healthy from the inside out? And, hey, by the way, you might lose some weight while you're doing that, The first 30 to 60 days is about detox and balancing your system. Sometimes detox isn't such a great feeling, but you want to let them know that you'll help them work through that. Let them know that you want to hear from them so that you can adjust their regimen as needed. So, like now, at this point, you should have gone over that kind of expectation with them somewhere from 3 to 5 times already. Let them know sometimes it can take 60 to 90 days to get a good regimen going. And I'll use Tara Castaneda's husband, David, for an example. He didn't see any results from Plexus for the first 6 months that he took it. And after that, he had really great results. So, that's just one kind of classic example. Like, everybody doesn't get results right away. Like, for me, it's crazy for me when I hear people say, oh, well, I've been on it for a week and I've not noticed anything different with my sleep. I'm going to caption y'all real quick so everybody cheese for me. But so for me, when I hear somebody say, oh, no, I don't sleep better, that's crazy to me because I noticed that like immediately. Okay, well, that doesn't happen for everybody. So you want to make sure everybody kind of has the right kind of expectation in place. Energy, sleep, reduced appetite, those are all helping them move in the right direction. But if you're promising a bunch of weight loss right off, you're doing them an injustice, and they probably will quit on you. Now, if they quit after 30 days, they didn't even make it through their detox. So if that happens to you, the recommendation is that you look back through your messages and your conversations with that person and see, did you set the right expectations for them during your initial conversations with them? Your new ambassador just joined. Go over the new ambassador checklist with them, which is posted in Pink Freedom. There's homework assignments and stuff like that in there. And like where they can locate the success plan, you can tag them in training videos and things like that. But make sure that they see that pinned post. Some people, they're not going, people don't want to see like 8,000 things on their first day because it's overwhelming and it's just too much for them. So what you want to do as a leader is make sure that you reach out to your downline to see, are they completing these steps? As their direct upline, you should message them to make sure that they're doing this. So like when for example, Alicia Smith added somebody today. So Christy could send her message and say, hey, I just wanted, to check in with you and make sure that you sent this person, this information, that you've added them onto the team page and those things. And it's not a micromanaging thing, but this is a process for all of us to get used to, because even though we've been trying to tell you to do some of those things this whole time, everybody hasn't been. So we want to make sure everybody is in the right frame to continue that, so that then when you add your new ambassador is going to do those same things because they've seen you do that. It's going to be challenging for us. I'm just going to put it out there to make these changes, but it's going to be well worth it, y'all, if we see a lot of change in our retention. One thing that Tara said I really liked was you have to feed them soup. You spoon feed them small bites. You don't pour a whole bowl of hot soup over their head all at once. The exception to that would be when somebody's a go-getter and like beyond a doubt that they want to run with the business and they've let you know that, then you want to equip them with everything that you possibly can. So for somebody who, you know, they're a go-getter, this person wants to work the business, or like Katrina called me tonight and said, hey, this person, we were going to talk about silver and she wants to be senior Ruby in December. Okay, well, now the things that we would have given her to try to get her silver this month is not going to be the same things that we're going to be sending her to try to equip her to be senior Ruby by December, you know, because she's on a different platform now. So you want to make sure that you're equipping them based on what their goals are. So you have to be following up with them. Give them things like the Going Silver videos, training videos, things like that. Make sure that they see the graphic. And there's one posted on the team page that it has like all of the products, and it just kind of gives like a 2-sentence little thing about each product. So it's not, you know, we don't all have to know everything that there is to know about every product to be successful. And I love, like, in one of Sonia Dudley's things, she says, I still don't know everything about all these products. And, you know, she's been doing this for quite some time now. But, you know, to know a few key points about every product, or a few key ingredients about every product takes things a long way. So you can give that to your ambassadors in small doses. Troubleshooting, excuse me, y'all. Troubleshooting. How often are you talking to them? If your body is going through detox, and all the changes that it can be going through when you're just first starting these products, it can be really difficult to get through. Guys, you're their coach. You are the person who's supposed to be helping them get through that. So you should be following up with your new ambassadors at least weekly. I mean, you really can't follow up with a new ambassador too much. If you find that, okay, it's Friday already and I've not followed up with this person, you know, we always use follow-up Fridays. Y'all hear us say that a lot. If you haven't followed up with them, then use that as your touch base day with them. One recommendation that that she gave when she was doing these, for me. Y'all give me just 1 second. I need to go back in here and move. Okay, sorry about that. One of the sample things that she gave was, hey, I'm just following up with you. Can't wait to hear how you're loving Plexus. And notice she said loving Plexus. What kind of changes are you feeling? Are you noticing any changes yet? Any change in sleep or appetite yet? Yet being the operative word there. Because you don't want somebody to feel concerned if they're not seeing any changes, because, you know, yet is very critical there, because you don't want somebody to think, oh, in a week I should be seeing that. But like for me, like if Kelly sent me that message, I'd have been like, yes, girl, I was sleeping good like night 1, you know. So that's a real important part of that. Also, I wanted to see if you have any concerns. A lot of times your body is going to be going through lots of changes. Feel free to talk to me about those changes. Based on what your body's going through, I can best guide you. That kind of gives people an open door. Like, okay, all of us love Plexus. If you didn't love Plexus, you probably wouldn't be an ambassador. So people are going to be a little more apprehensive to tell you, yeah, this ain't going so good for me right now. But if you're following up with them and you're keeping good contact with them, then they are more apt to go ahead and talk with you. Like if you let them know up front, hey, you know, this can, you know, it can be not so great right in the beginning, they're much more likely to talk to you about those changes. People that go through detox alone and don't understand their progress, they will quit. And I speak from experience. I think probably anybody on here who's been here 6 months or longer will attest to the fact. I mean, I'm guilty of all of this, guys. So, like, it's not, I mean, this, when I tell you, this is learning for me too. So, you want to make sure that that expectation is out there and that you're following up with them good. She gave an example of a girl who followed up daily with her new ambassadors every single day for the first 30 days. Every day. And she had nearly a 100% retention on her ambassadors. Now, I mean, some of y'all might be able to do that. Like for me, I think that would be a little bit overwhelming with the size of our team. Like I don't know that I could follow up with every single new person that I added every day for a month. But it just kind of goes to show you the importance of following up with them and making sure that we're doing that. So if you aren't real good about following up with them, make sure you're doing it at a minimum of once a week. When somebody's first, if they're a wholesaler, you should be following up with them a minimum of once a week. If they're looking to work the business, you should be following up with them like every couple of days. If they're having die-off and detox and like they're on Triflex, and I say that because that's our most common products that we put people on, then you want to make sure you pull them back some on the ProBio, but keep them on the product. ProBio can cause candida die-off, and it can't, there are die-off symptoms that will occur with that. I had gotten at one point where I wasn't taking my products as regularly, and then I decided, okay, I'm getting back on my products. Well, so smart me, I was like, okay, I'm going to go straight back to 3 ProBios a night. Yeah, wrong move. Because, I mean, it literally, like, I thought I was going to have a UTI. Like, it was that kind of die-off, like, that fast. So, if people are experiencing die-off, you want to make sure that you're in contact with them and that you're helping them guide through those products. And if you are having any problems troubleshooting, you want to make sure you take that to your direct upline. We also can do troubleshooting chats with our teams if we need to. And she gave a recommendation of like your levels 1 through 3. So like if you sometimes maybe every ambassador is brand new and you have to, you might have to take that up 3 levels to get somebody who can actually do some help with that. That's fine, but that's something that we can also do. Be available to your team. You sign them up, you need to lead them. One thing that Plexus is very gung-ho about is that if you sign up one person, then you're a leader, because then it's your responsibility to take that person under your wing and make sure that they have what they need. I think we've failed at that a lot when we have people who maybe people sign up as wholesalers and then they have, here's a person that like, oh, their friend wants to order, but they sign them up as an ambassador. But they have no intention ever of training that person or working with that person or teaching them anything. So that's an injustice to the whole system right there. So if your person is a wholesaler and they have a potential, that's when they need to make a decision. Okay, if you're going to work the business, okay, then good. Let me show you how to do that, and let's work the business together. If you're a wholesaler and you're not really going to work the business, then you shouldn't be signing people up. I mean, let's just be honest about that, because you need to be in a position to train them. Okay, so being available to your team. If they're unhappy, like even whenever people get unhappy with their business, things are taking a little bit longer. If you're there and you're encouraging them and you're giving them the support that they need, they will stay loyal to you. But more importantly, they're taking their products and they're happy with their products. They're going to stay happy and loyal to Plexus. As soon as you know that someone like a wholesaler is loving their products, that is a great time to gently nudge them. Remind them that they can get their products for free. You don't want to ever have somebody feel like you bullied them into, trying to work the business or whatever. But you want to let them know, remind them that they can get their products for free. And that's going to come up like in conversation, when they're telling you, oh, well, I've lost 7 pounds and da 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 da, and you're like, oh, that's great. Have your friends noticed? Have you been talking to people? Okay, and when they're like, yeah, so and so and so and so, and then you say, well, that's a good time for you to lead into that with them. But you have to be following up with them consistently so that you know when that right time is. And when it's that right time, lock arms with that person and help them get to silver. Silver obviously is a very big key for us and what we do in our business, because everything is in that power of 3. Tara gave 5 bonus tips and I loved them, so I wanted to share them with y'all too. Number 1, be your new ambassador's closest friend their first month. Walk hand in hand with them, whether they're wholesale, just getting the basics, or working their business. Encourage them to go silver. Number 2, teach them, guide them. Don't just hand them answers. Tell them where to find them and how. This right here is probably going to be the biggest change that y'all will see in me moving forward, because I am notorious for just answering people's questions instead of saying, hey, you need to go look at da 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 to find that. You should be taking your questions to your direct upline. There's a couple, like out of 410, something like that, ambassadors, we have a couple of situations where people aren't as comfortable with their direct uplines. It's going to happen. But outside of those situations, you should be taking those questions to your direct uplines, because they can't learn if you skip 3 or 4 levels over them every single time. There's no way for them to learn or grow, or for them to say, hey, I don't know the answer to that question. Let me figure that out for you. So you want to be taking those things to the direct upline. And don't do like me, because what you've done at that point is you've been an enabler so that people aren't going to try to look for things. They just come to you to be the dictionary. And I mean, y'all, this happens like so often you would not even believe. Like, I can send somebody can ask me a question, and I can send them like a screenshot of something that's like a paragraph from corporate that'll have the answer in it, and they'll still want me to give them the answer. No, I'm going to need for you to read what I sent you and decipher that yourself. You have to know how to look for things, because if you're working this business, okay, you can't be an emerald and not know how to look for things. And you don't want your team to be doing those things too. And like I referenced this back to somebody a week or so ago, because she was in the same kind of business that I used to be in. And I said, it's like when you're running a store, and the store has operations manuals that teaches you, how to do things or whatever. And instead of a new associate wanting to look at the operations manual to make sure they know what they're doing and how to do it accurately, they just want to go ask somebody to give them the answer. And you're really doing people an injustice when you do that. So utilize those resources. Number 3, be an open book. So let people know what you're doing and how things are working for you, so that you can show them that what you're doing is duplicatable. Number 4, and y'all know this is a real hot button for me, and she spent about 10 minutes of this call on it, and I just loved every second of it. Keep them plugged in with you and the team. You want to make sure that they're on the team pages, listening to calls, trainings, etc. People don't follow things, people follow people. So if your team page, and I know I have like a lot of y'all on here that have smaller team pages branched off, or chat groups, or whatever it is that you have that you manage your team. If there's not a lot of activity in there, it's okay, but make sure that your ambassadors are on like the Pink Freedom page, and make sure that you are engaged on the larger team pages as well. Give them shout outs. People love to get loved on. Like if it's, somebody's signed up their first ambassador, somebody has gotten their first customer, they hit 500 PV for the first time, give them a shout out on the big team page, because there's a lot of people on there. People like to have that kind of recognition. Connect them with the greater good of the larger team page. I mean, if you as a leader aren't active, commenting, being engaged on the post, and incentives and things like that, then you need to get active, because when they feel connected, they do not walk away so easy, because that's all in building relationships. Y'all, some of the best Plexus friends that I have are all from seeing them at trainings, being on those same team pages and interacting with them. Like I'm having lunch Thursday with a sideline friend. I met her through Plexus, and we're not even in the same downline team. She's one of my sideline friends, but I met her, and we through those kind of interactions and seeing her at trainings and stuff. So build those relationships and help them build those relationships. If you're not connected and you're not engaged, your team will fizzle out, period. If you're not there and you're not engaged and you're not showing the importance of it, they're not going to feel the importance of it. People will drop off. Number 5 is get them silver as soon as possible. People like to see that it's possible. They like to see that it's duplicatable. And there's a lot of great vision that's within that Power of 3. There's a Power of 3 video that's out that y'all can watch. I mean, it's a lot of great information. And that's what we do everything by, is based on the Power of 3. So you can get your new ambassador to silver. They've ranked. They've gotten their first achievement bonus of $100. They know, okay, well, you might really can earn money doing this Plexus thing. And then the last thing, when Tara was talking about this, she said that a year ago in September, she almost quit Plexus. And if y'all don't know who Tara Castaneda is, she has like great training videos on YouTube. She's diamond silver, so she has re-entered on her second leg and is silver on that second leg already. She almost quit. I believe September is when she said. September was a year ago that she almost quit. And she said her husband was like, really, why would you quit? Like, you're not a quitter. You've never quit anything in your life. Why would you quit? And she's like, I just can't do this. My team, like, we go forward, we go back. We go forward, we go back. And we'll add 5 people, and then she'll go inactive. And it's back and forth and back and forth. And she was asked what was her biggest stumbling block that she's gone through in this business, and retention was it. That was it for her. And so I want to encourage you, if you've experienced some of that, let's take these things, everything in this business, it's not about, oh, this is my team and I'm going to do things my way. Nope, that's not going to get you anywhere. And your team's not going to grow, and you're not going to thrive that way. This kind of business is very, very much about duplication, and duplicating things that people who are successful have done. So we try to take those things and do them, just like I did with this. Okay, well, this has worked for her. It's worked for her team, and it was a lot of great information. So when I found that, I said, okay, we're going to roll this out and we're going to implement this in our team so that can help us keep from having those same problems. Because whether you're new and you haven't gone silver yet, then good for you. God bless you. This is perfect for you because you will never experience the kind of problems that some of us who have like this much gap of white lines in our back office. So take that and absorb it. But we want to make sure that we're doing those things, that we take the information that's already there for us. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just need to implement the things that have already worked. So if these things had not worked, I wouldn't have presented them to y'all. So I'll open it up, and if anybody has any questions or anything, now is your time. Anybody? Hold on, I'm going to unmute y'all in case. Okay, now I'm hearing all kind of noise. Okay, so y'all, you can mute your lines if you want to, but at least that way, if you want to talk, then you're unmuted. So anybody have any feedback, any questions, comments, concerns?
I didn't hear what you said about Tara's biggest stumbling block. What was that?
Retention.
Retention. Okay, I couldn't hear you. Okay, thanks.
And what was her last name?
Castaneda. You know who she is.
Oh, okay.
She did that Emerald video that we watched.
What's the name of this video that she made about retention?
It was a call. It was the call that I posted. I believe it's on Friday when I posted, and then I put it in. I posted it. I said everybody really needs to watch this. I posted it in our leaders group and said everybody please listen to it, or not watch it, but listen to it. It was the retention call and product video or product call. There was 2 calls. There was a post that was made together. Anybody else have anything? Well, I hope that this is giving y'all some information to help you, to help your teams, to help us all be better leaders. And just know that we'll be implementing that moving forward. And like I said, if I'm lucky enough to get my hands on those documents, I'll post them on our team page. And I'll announce that. Like if I get them, I'll announce it to y'all that I've gotten them finally and get them posted. But I didn't want to prolong going through this because I know at this time of year, retention is very big for us. So I didn't want to waste any time making sure everybody was on the same page with it. So.
Thank you, Alicia. That was great information.
Yes, it is. It's really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Alicia. It's Alicia. Thank you for that. That was a wonderful call.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, if nobody has anything else, that's it. Then y'all have a good night, okay?
You too.
Night, everyone.
Thank you.